All right, everybody, we're going live. Well, not really live. I'm going to record this and kind of stop and start as we go. We're going to do the unthinkable. It's midnight on a weekday, and my friend Amani, he injured himself in rugby, so he's hobbling along, and we're going to speed paint his entire Space Wolf army tonight.
Yes, get it done.
So, he has been painting for quite a while, and his guys are turning pretty good. Let's see if we can get this a little bit better. Give me some light. There we go. So you can see, it's coming along. That's the kind of color scheme he's going for. But we're doing some league battles. He's joining the league tomorrow, and he doesn't want to be embarrassed coming in with a bunch of gray plastic minis. So
and a couple resin guys, a couple white resin guys.
Yeah, and a couple white resin guys. So he's got the big cast black primer. So we're going to primer his whole army, and I'm going to help him speed paint this whole thing, and let's see how long it takes us.
Get it all silver.
All right, so here's our first batch. We're going to take all these guys out, and we're going to spray them. Now they are all black. We spray painted them all black. And we're going to let that set, and we'll flip them upside down and get the underneath spots that we missed in just a bit. All right, here we go. It's tray number 2. There we go, another tray full. All these Space Wolves will be painted tonight. This morning. Okay, so we primered the bulk of his army.
This is good.
That's pretty good. But I think,
Thanks,
honestly, I think we should use the biggest brushes we got. So like probably this one would be best for you. So we're going to take the biggest brush we got, and we're going to hit these guys all with silver, at least all the armor on all the Marines. And we're going to use, you're using lead belcher, because he wants his Space Wolves to be a little bit more gritty looking.
A little more nightly, made out of metal.
Which I agree. I think light, pale grayish blue Space Wolves never really appealed to me. So we're going to do a lot of dry brushing, and we're going to put them all in that tray when we're done. So here we go. So we're just going to hit these guys. And the key to speed painting is you don't want to get gloppy. You want to do nice thin coats. So, make sure your brush isn't too wet. You just go through.
Start with these Mark IIIs.
Make sure you hit all their armor. Because that's the stuff you don't want to have to touch up later is the armor, especially in all the little crevices. Some people, if they're really nitpicky, they're going to take their models and assemble them after they're painted. And I think that's silly because I want to play with my toys right away. All right, so we got one in the pan.
I thinned it out too much before I tried to apply it the first time.
Yeah, I just like to take it out of the pot, dab my brush on a paper towel so it's not too wet. Just get the whole darn thing. Because the whole idea is all these crevices we're going to wash at the end of painting everything. You just want to get everything silver, but not like caked on, So let's see how long it takes us to paint this whole army.
Still a little bit slow at this.
That's okay.
I'm so used to just meticulously going through with all of it.
Yep. The idea is just nice big strokes to just hit the whole model. And it's like I like my stuff really detailed too, but when you have a lot to paint, you can easily just sit there forever painting all these little details. But if you line them all up and you just spend a couple hours just painting them all one color, and then now the next hour.
My shoulder pads are looking really globby though. Let's see. I'm getting too much liquid in there.
Yeah, you're using too much liquid. Just dry brush it on. Actually, this one's a little bit coarser of a brush. Try this brush. Right now, this has got the perfect amount of paint on it.
looks much better.
Oh yeah, this brush is crap. I'm sorry. I gave you a crap brush.
So what's going on here? It's like, no.
I'm glad we switched, otherwise you would have been on that same figure all night.
Probably.
So again, you can use really shitty brushes for this. This is really good. I wish I would have brought my paint sticks. If you see some of my other videos, you'll see where we'll take Easy Tack and just stick all these guys on one big stick, and you can just go down and hit them all with one color.
What is it? It's a paint stick?
Yeah, like a paint stirring stick.
Oh, I've never seen it before.
Yeah, I didn't start painting my miniatures in bulk like that until like last month. Like all those Gene Stealer cultists.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice having them all on one stick, so I can go in and just do all the eyes and go back and then do all the tubes on the backs of their backpacks. And then they're all next to each other, all uniform, and you can easily see, you know, what you did wrong if they're all like not matching or whatever. But since we're doing all these guys one color, it's not a big deal. We just have to go through and just hit the whole army. And while we're doing this, why don't you tell me, Imani, what you are most looking forward to in this next edition?
I'm really hoping they release, like, I know that they're sending their Primaris Marines out with, like, chapter transfers and whatnot, and, you know, you could always take little pieces from your whatever chapter and put it on there. But I think it'd be tight if they released some, like, chapter-specific Primaris Marines.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I feel like once they start doing the individual codexes for every single army, I feel like that's going to start happening.
One new rule I'm really excited about is the new rule with pistols, where if you have a pistol, you can fire it in the shooting phase while you're engaged in melee, which is really going to make my blood claws a lot more effective. They're going to do significantly more like that. Being able to not just participate and shoot like melee combat all the time.
Well, we just learned 7th edition, and there's some rules in there that were not clear in that rule book that I completely overlooked. And when I started the league last month, I found out that assault weapons, you could actually charge and shoot them in the same turn.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, I remembered 2nd edition rules. I didn't know you could shoot your gun and charge in the same turn. And that's going to be true in this next edition too. So if your gun has the word assault keyword in it, you can shoot it in the shooting phase, and then you can charge and then get into hand-to-hand combat in the hand-to-hand combat phase. And now with pistols being able to fire while you're in hand-to-hand combat, that's just another level of shooting that you get. It's going to be a lot of death in this new edition.
I think it's going to be a lot nicer knowing that like any unit can potentially harm any other unit. Because a lot of time with vehicles, I felt like I had to bring up my special weapons crew. I had to be very specific units even able to attack them.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would just try to like get lucky with a melt-a-bomb or two, but it's going to be nicer knowing that anybody can have some impact.
Yeah, and from all the battle reports I've been watching, it looks like vehicles are actually harder to kill, even though everything can hurt them. So that's really cool. I think that balances the game out perfectly, where everything can actually hurt everything, but they added so many wounds to vehicles that the odds of taking out a vehicle with one hit still possible, but very unlikely. I'm just so happy my Tyranids are going to be useful again.
Yeah, I read some of their rules, especially your Gene Stealers. Your Gene Stealers are going to be doing the most work now.
Oh, they're insane. Alright, so for everybody watching at home, the key to speed painting is, of course, going quickly on the prep of your models. So just getting those base coats down as fast as you can. And we're just dry brushing, so you're not going to get everything right, but you're going to get the gist of the color on there, which is enough for the tabletop. So that when you go in to play a game, you're not coming in with naked minis.
Which was what I was about to do.
Yeah. Like I honestly, like I won't judge somebody for coming into a game with naked miniatures. You know, I'll be disappointed a little bit because it's really satisfying to see two fully painted armies on the table fighting it out. Because you can just kind of, like, while it's your opponent's turn, you can just sit there and look at all the cool details and designs on everything. And that was the coolest thing about our local league is just about everybody has a fully painted army. But every single army I noticed has a couple things that were primered. And they actually give you get rewarded points for having newly painted stuff, which is nice. You can get an extra couple points in the league for having stuff that's either newly painted or in the process of being painted on the table. So it's pretty cool how they do that. I feel like we're going pretty quick.
Yeah, we're getting through it.
I'm sure we won't see this army ever completely fully painted in our lifetimes because you'll always be adding to it.
Yeah, especially once we get all these new cool models coming out. I'm going to try to be frugal about it, though. Just a little bit.
Buy it used.
Yeah, I've discovered that that's great boon when people decide that, you know, it's sad that somebody doesn't want to do it anymore, but if they're Space Wolves, you know, I'll benefit off of it. I'll buy a Space Wolf army.
Right. That's how you got, what, half of these models? Half of them were new, and then
a lot of them were used. A good portion of my infantry were used. I have a tank that was used. I have a hero that was used, and a lot of my infantry. I'd say a good half, a quarter of my infantry. To that range.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's always good to treat yourself to one big expensive model every once in a while, or a nice starter set, because starter sets are a pretty good deal. Whoops, drop one. He's alive because he's plastic. But the starter sets and the start collecting box sets, I think are worth it. They're totally worth it because you get the fun of putting them together and then posing them and customizing them. But to fill in the rank and file, yeah, buy used. There's plenty of stuff out there. Also, Games Workshop's allowing online retailers again. So that's cool. And a lot of online retailers are selling their figures for about 15% off, I think is what Games Workshop allows people to do. At least that's what our local...
My stuff is coming out kind of foamy.
Make sure you get your brush dryer. Water?
Yeah, but...
There you go. You gotta have your brush a lot drier so that it doesn't get foamy. Like if you feel... here, switch brushes with me real quick. Feel the effects of that on a new model that doesn't have any paint on it.
Oh, that's so different. That's so much nicer.
Maybe it's your paint. Here, give me it.
Yeah, because mine has a lot of bubbles.
Yeah, because that paint's working great. Sometimes your paint's pretty good if it's slightly dried out, I found, which is totally fine. Alright, so we are about, actually we're almost halfway through dry brushing this army. So I'm going to pause the video because my phone doesn't have that much memory on it. And then once we get all these guys dry brushed, we'll come back and we'll see how far we've gotten. Alright everybody, here we are. It's been an hour since we started And in 1 hour, we got all of these guys painted. They're all tabletop ready. I mean, obviously, it's going to take months, maybe years, to finish this whole army. But we got the bulk of them silver. He's putting the final touches on his dreadnought right now. But yeah, we got most of the special characters painted silver, and they're ready to go for tomorrow. So they've all got one coat of paint, which is nice. What I would suggest is probably getting these wolves, just paint them brown or something. Get some color on the wolves, and maybe the capes of some of the heroes to kind of make them stand out. And then later down the road, we'll just hit all their flesh tones, and then hit all the furs, and then go in and start micro detailing all of the rest of them, so they'll look like the rest of his army that he's been working on. So yeah, again, if you're gonna speed paint an army, paint one model first, maybe 2 or 3. See if you like it, and practice on a model either you don't care about or just an extra one, or just pick one or 2 models, get the look right, finish a squad first, which is what he has done. He's got a squad of, let's see, how many guys do you paint here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've got 8 guys, no, 9 guys already painted. Like, they look done, except for maybe their bases and decals. And then once you're able to look at one full squad, you're like, okay, that's the color scheme I like. Let's do the rest of them. And then that's when you have to commit to painting the rest of your army. Because nothing sucks more than having to strip the paint off of over 100 models and start over. Which you could do if you wanted to, if you have an old army from a long time ago, or if your painting skills increase later. But for the most part, when I paint a model, it's done, and I don't touch it again. Once I hit that clear coat, I just call it done and move on to the next project.
There you go.
There he is. Murder Fang.
Job done.
Yep. So again, if you want to paint your army quick, just do 1 coat of primer, and then just do a quick dry brush of another color, and then after that, it's just the micro detailing, or you could just call it done if you don't want to paint that much. But once these guys all get done, like the rest of the ace models, it'll be pretty awesome. So
yeah, I gotta get into them.
Yeah, I can't believe we did that many in just an hour.
There we go.
Awesome.
We got it done.
All right. So I guess the next question is do we want to try to get some fur color on all those wolves before we call it a night?
Wolves?
Those wolves, and maybe your pack here. I guess you want to do different colors for those guys, right? Like different color squads.
Yeah, I was thinking about each squad being a different kind of tone, kind of.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like some gray wolves, and then some brown ones, and some dark
black
brown
ones. And
like black wolves.
Some awesome. Different kind of color schemes on all of them.
Yeah.
They'll have a different colored belly and underside too, like the undercoat.
Yeah, I really like doing that too. Like even in my Tyranid army, I have some old models from the 90s, like the old 90s Hormagaunts, which are metal, which weigh a ton. But the cool thing is I can field one squad of the 90s Hormagaunts and then one squad of the 2000s Hormagaunts, which is pretty fun. And my opponent's like, whoa, what are those? I'm like, these are old. But you can tell the squads apart. This is the same character, just 2 different sculpts. So anyways, well, I'm going to call it a night because we got league tomorrow.
Yep. But
we got everything silver and...
heal this ankle.
Yeah, you got to heal your ankle up and... we'll have our one of our last games before 8th edition.
Except we'll probably have a couple months of 7th before they switch over.
They were talking about starting it right away.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, they said they're going to wait a week. And then...
Oh, I forgot that I
bam, right into 8th edition.
Here.
Yeah. There we go.
I bought a whole box of them.
Yeah, used.
I know. For 23, I got 10 of them.
Yeah, 10 wolves for $23. Buy used. Buy used. It's good.
It's usually about $15 for 5 of them.
Yeah. They're already primed.
Yeah, there we go.
Cool. All right, well, everybody, happy painting. Get your miniatures painted, even if it's just a coat with dry brush. Like, do it. Bye, guys.